Hello everybody, I'm Bob Bentz and I am the author of Relevance Raises Response, How to Engage and Acquire with Mobile Marketing. I'm also the president of Purplegator, a mobile-first digital agency in suburban Philadelphia, and I'm an adjunct at the University of Denver. If you'd like to link in with me or follow me on Twitter, there are my social media accounts for you to do so. A little bit about me. That's my family there on the left, my two rescue pups. Very involved in dog rescue, and I've been a baseball coach for many years. 6 of my players have gone on to play professionally, including 1 in the major leagues. I'm an avid hiker. Go to California and Colorado every year to do some mountain climbing. I'm a graduate of West Virginia University and Marshall University. Huge Phillies and Eagles fan, and of course I'm an adjunct at the University of Denver. A little bit about my company. We were established in 1989 as a telecom company, and boy has communication changed in the many years that I've been an entrepreneur. Started off where most of our business was with landline phones, and it evolved into an internet company, and now more recently to a mobile company. We have offices in suburban Philadelphia and Toronto, London, and Prague. A little bit about the company. There's many brands that we work under. The mobile digital agency is called Purplegator. We recently sold our advanced mobile division to the publicly traded Auto by Tel. And there's a couple of online text message marketing sites called 84444.com and PromoText. A little bit about what we do here in the swamp of Purplegator. We do everything mobile, digital oriented, including the simplest of things, which is SMS text message marketing, to the most complex, which is app development, and then everything in between, including mobile and digital advertising, web development, and SEO and SEM. This is actually the second book that I've written. I wrote a book in 1993 and then wrote Relevance Raises Response in 2016. So I guess I write a book every 23 years, so I'm due to publish my third book in 2039. And there's me at the university, and you can also keep up to date with all the changes that are going on in mobile and digital marketing by visiting my website at relevanceraisesresponse.com. The book is also available at Amazon and many other fine online book retailers. So when it comes to mobile, I like to say the mobile's our lifeline. It's beside us when we get up in the morning, and it's with us 24/7. There has never been a device that has changed communication such as the mobile device. But let's look back to the early days of mobile phones with this short video. And what a revolution it's been. Your mobile phone is really your digital DNA. And what I mean by that is the phone number that you have today is the one that you'll have for the rest of your life. So imagine how important that is for a business to acquire that phone number and market to you. And You know, when it comes to marketing via the mobile phone, the landline is a dying breed. In 2015 was the first year that more households were cell phone only. And most of us that still have landline phones probably have them because we still live in the Northeast where they're essentially free. Of course, smartphone penetration is really what created companies like Purplegator and created a need for a book like Relevance Raises Response. We now have almost 85% of Americans that have a smartphone. And of course, the younger you are and the wealthier you are, the more likely that you are to have a smartphone over a feature phone. Take a look at this picture. It's of the coronation of the Pope, just an 8-year difference from 2005 to 2013. And you can see there in the upper picture, just one small flip phone taking a picture in the lower right. And then in the bottom picture, everybody's taking pictures and missing the event. When it comes to really ascertaining just how important mobile has been, it's really all about the time that's been spent with mobile. And we're spending more and more time with media every year, and you wonder, where is that time coming from? Well, certainly part of it is because that we've become very good at multitasking. We're watching TV and we're tweeting at the same time. But take a look at mobile. Just in 2012, we were spending less than an hour and a half per day. And then in 2016, we topped 3 hours per day. So more than doubling in just a 4-year period of the time spent with mobile. Now keep in mind, when you think about time spent with mobile, that doesn't even include the time that we actually spend talking on the phone, which is what it was invented for in the first place. That's just doing all the other stuff that we do on our mobile phones. And as time spent with mobile continues to increase, correspondingly, what has decreased is our time spent with print and with broadcasting. So when was the year of mobile? Well, in my book, Relevance Raises Response, I actually think that the year of mobile was 2010, because that's when the iPhone really started to take off and people really started to get into all the various aspects of mobile marketing, way beyond just simple text message marketing. But you read the book and decide for yourself. Maybe you think it hasn't even arrived yet and there's more to come. So let's take a look at some of the advantages of mobile, and we'll start off with a video of how Adidas is using mobile to change its business. And many brands are playing in this space, both small and large. And really, one of the great things about mobile has been that the small business person is able to compete on the same playing field as a large business. And what I mean by that is my former business was selling television advertising, and you had local advertisers that could advertise in the morning and the afternoon and perhaps even the news, but they could never afford to purchase prime time. That was really reserved only for the largest national advertisers. Well, that's no longer the case because the amount of mobile phone advertisements that are available and the impressions that are available as early as 6 to 7 a.m. is now larger than the primetime TV audience. So advertisers, both small and large, can target people and mass amounts of people through various techniques, no matter what the time of day. And the time of day has a lot to do with reaching people in the right time at the right place and reaching that right person on the right device. And what I mean by that, let's imagine you're a restaurant, for example. As you can see here from the charts, people don't really plan in advance as to where they're going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner if they're on the road. They spend a little bit more time planning dinner, but not nearly as much as they do with breakfast and lunch. So wouldn't a text message or an advertisement for your restaurant make a lot of sense to reach these people an hour before they make that decision of where they're going to eat? And the right medium really means delivering the right message, whether it's text, a push notification from the app, or a sponsored social or mobile or digital advertisement. So the first thing that you need when it comes to mobile is to have a mobile optimized website. And most people do today. Responsive design has made that very easy to check that off your box. But that certainly is the single most important thing you can do. And let's take a look at what Chiquita has done in this area. And we all love the Minions, so let's see what the Minions think about Chiquita. Well, when did mobile take over search and finding mobile websites? Well, there's two dates that are very important in the evolution of mobile, and that is December 25th, Christmas Day, 2013. And that was the first day on record when Google reported that more people searched by mobile phone than they did by desktop computer. And it certainly makes sense because people probably received gifts of new mobile phones on Christmas, and they tried them out and did their first searches. Probably a lot of people were on the road, so that certainly makes sense. Then there was another date about a year and a half later, May 25th, 2015, and this is the day that mobile search took over for good. And 51% of all searches on May 25th, 2015 were from a mobile phone, and mobile has never looked back and continues to extend their lead over desktop search since that date. So when you talk about mobile, it's really the time spent with media that has changed everything that we do. We now spend over 3 hours per day with our mobile phone, not even counting the time that we spend talking on the phone. And when it comes to email marketing, email is open predominantly now on the mobile phone as well. And I like to say when it comes to a mobile website, you need to take the thumb test. And I think of, think about a really big guy like The Rock. And imagine navigating your website on a mobile phone, and just use your thumb when you do that. And then you'll have the same experience that a big man like The Rock might have in navigating your website. So if you can successfully navigate on the small screen of the mobile phone, you probably have a pretty good mobile website. On to lesson 4 in messaging. And let's take a look at what Ford has done with simple text message marketing and other forms of messaging. So that's what Ford's doing. Now let's take a look at all the various ways that you can use messaging. Well, the simplest that you probably know is SMS messaging from a short code like 84444. Then there's premium SMS. This had a relatively short lifespan in the United States. This is where you could make a donation to the Red Cross. That became very popular after the Haiti hurricane. It also was used for other products that has since been discontinued in the United States, although it does thrive in other countries. MMS is the ability to send packets of information along with your text, and it's very good for fashion advertising because you can send the actual picture. You can also send a voice packet or a video as well through MMS. We have a product called text to landline as well. Many businesses, such as auto dealers, have used the same landline phone number for a long time, and it's really ingrained in the community, but you can't text to it. So new technology allows for the ability to text to a landline, and that text message shows up on the business's computer. Because when it comes to young adults and teens, it's hard for them to even grasp that there's phone numbers out there that can't receive a text, hence the product of text to landline. And then there's what I call over-the-top or OTT messaging as well. And OTT, the ones you might be most familiar with is WhatsApp, Snapchat offers an OTT, and Google Hangouts. And when it comes to text message marketing, it's simple, but it really works. It's opt-in marketing as opposed to email marketing, which is opt-out marketing. What that means is you have to create your own database and get opt-ins from consumers before you can send them SMS text message marketing messages. And why that is so important is, although it might seem like a daunting task to create your own database, these are people that have said, I want to receive your advertising. hence why it works so well. It's one-to-one communications on a very mass scale. It's instantaneous and it's timely. Think back to the discussion we had a few moments ago about restaurants using text message marketing. Well, what could be more timely than receiving a text at 11:30 a.m. when you're starting to get hungry for lunch? And if I can leave you with just one statistic today, it's this one. And that is that 97% of all text messages are opened and read within 15 minutes of receipt. When it comes to email, only 22% of emails are even opened today. So if you purchase the book, Relevance Raises Response, you'll get 60 of my top text message marketing tips inside of that book. But let me give you a number 60 right now, because this is one of my favorites. And that is, most people think of text messaging as a B2C product and not a B2B product, but it can be B2B just as well. And one of the things that we like to do is we send our text messages that are B2B at 57 minutes after the hour. Why? Because that's when busy business persons are waiting for the next meeting to start, and they have time to look at their phone as they're waiting for that meeting to begin. Let's move on to Lesson 5 and social media, and take a look at what Dunkin' Donuts did in cooperation with NFL Monday Night Football. Pretty cool, huh? Well, imagine how much time that you're spending on a daily basis with social media, and you'll see just how important it is for your business to be marketing via it. We're spending now on average 35 minutes a day with Facebook, and you can see add up all of the time we're spending with the various social media sites, and it's a significant amount of time. In fact, here's how much time it is in your lifetime. You're going to spend almost 2 years of your lifetime watching YouTube videos or spending your time on Facebook. You're going to spend over 5 years of your life on social media. Compare that to what you do today. The only thing you're going to do more of is watching TV. You're going to spend more time on social media than you do eating and drinking and grooming and even socializing. So where are people going when it comes to social media? Well, like it or not, Facebook is the gorilla in the room when it comes to social media and social media marketing. Instagram, certainly gaining speed. It's owned by Facebook, and it's a great advertising outlet as well. And you can see there the top 5 in terms of social media users and the percentage of Americans that are using them each year. What's the favorite platform of United States teens? Well, it's overwhelmingly Snapchat as of fall of 2017. But warning, teens, your parents are coming. They're wearing their mom jeans, and they're coming on to Snapchat more and more as time goes on. So you may have to find a new outlet soon. When it comes to social media, one of the things I emphasize in my book is that the most important part of engagement is shares and retweets. And why is that the most important part? Well, that's because that person has now voted for you as a business. They have shown confidence in your business to the point where they're willing to take your message and put it on their feed. And that is the biggest compliment that your business can get. One of the things I recommend to you to do if you're not already doing it is to use a social media posting tool. People say to me all the time, how do you have so much time throughout the day to post on social media? Well, I don't. We set them up mostly on Sunday night to go for the whole year using tools like Buffer app. And then the other thing that I'd like to mention to you is regardless of whether you have time to use all the social media outlets that are out there or not, you should still reserve your name on all of them. Take a look at namecheck.com. That's a quick and easy way for you when you're starting your new business to see whether your name is available on all of the social media outlets. And whether you plan on using them all now or not, reserve your name and you'll have it in the future when you decide to. Lesson 6 is mobile advertising. And let's take a look at what Coors did to attract the Hispanic market to its product. As you can see from the chart here on the orange on the left, this is in 2016 where advertisers pulled money from. And overwhelmingly, you can see there it's from print and broadcast advertising. And where they moved it to was all things mobile and digital. But despite this change, mobile is still not getting its fair share in terms of advertising dollars versus time spent with media. And print continues to over-index, as you see there on the left. So what that means for you, if you remember your Economics 101 class, is that the supply of mobile advertising still exceeds the demand. Hence, there's great values to be had in the cost of mobile advertising. When it comes to buying mobile and digital advertising, one of the things that we like to emphasize with people is you're buying people, not places. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're selling kitchen renovations, and the target market for that is homeowners, women 35 to 54 who earn $75,000 or more in household income per year. If that's the person that you're looking for, we don't care whether we find that woman 35 to 54 on ESPN's app checking sports scores, or on mobile website of Better Homes and Gardens, or whether we find them on Facebook or the local newspaper site. We're going to target that person because that's the target market that we're looking for, and we're going to serve an impression to that person and hopefully get some engagement and interest in your product. Advertising on mobile is done programmatically, and what that means is it's a giant stock market out there of bidders and sellers, and at some point those bidders and sellers meet on what the fair price should be at that moment for that particular inventory. So we now have over 80% of all mobile and digital advertising buys that are being bought programmatically, meaning that they're bought through this giant stock market as opposed to a direct relationship with a sales rep that is more traditional in the print and broadcast industries. And how we're targeting people when it comes to mobile is really the thing that makes mobile so spectacular. And we can target people through geofencing. That is perhaps a group of several towns, zip codes, or a particular state. And then geoconquesting, which is taking a particular address and finding all the mobile devices that have been at that address and then targeting those people and those devices that have been at a given location. We can also target through demographics, age, sex, education, income level, and other factors that traditional media has done. But the thing that probably makes mobile stand out the most is interest targeting. And by interest targeting, if you, for instance, are in the business of attracting people to your ski resort, we can target only people that are known to be interested in skiing. And then finally, there's day parting. One of the great things about mobile is the creative can be changed quite easily. With a simple phone call, we can change the ad and the context and the people that we're trying to reach really on the fly. You can't really do that with traditional advertising. So if there's a big snowstorm coming this weekend, we can advertise shovels and salt. If there's a big heat wave coming this weekend, simple call, we can advertise the air conditioners. And when it comes to mobile, Facebook, as we know, remains the gorilla in the room along with Google. And Facebook definitely has moved to a pay-to-play model. And what I mean by that is you might have a lot of followers for your business page, and it used to be really a free way for you to advertise your business because your message would get to most of those people who followed your business page. No more. Today, only 1.5% to 6% of all people that follow your business page will actually see your post. Hence, Facebook has really moved to a pay-to-play model where you have to invest if you want to reach those people. And it remains really the small business juggernaut. And one of the things that's great about mobile advertising for a small business is a small business, for instance, a restaurant, may only attract restaurant goers from, say, 3 zip codes or a 5-mile radius from the retail store. Well, if you're in a large market, you really couldn't buy traditional advertising because most of that's going to be wasted. You might be reaching people on the other side of town or in another state, a whole nother county, a whole nother region. Well, that's not the case with mobile because we can geolocate your ads so that you only reach that 5-mile trading radius from your business. And the reason that Facebook works so well is that it has fantastic third-party data. So you can see here some ads. We really like Facebook because it takes up 100% of the screen of the mobile phone. So you really can't miss it. And those ads seem to be native advertising to the consumer. If you look at these ads, these are all ads that I have been served, and they make a lot of sense because the two on the left are actually businesses that cater to people like me who own agencies. And then there's 2 things on the right that are really geared towards my home area and things that I'm interested in, whether it's political things in my area or fitness. Here's an example of an ad that's a Facebook ad that's targeted to me. That is from my hometown, and it's a desktop version of that ad as well. Now, if you want to find out why Facebook targeting works so well, let's look at what Facebook actually knows about you. So if you type in that URL there above my book, facebook.com/ads/preferences, you'll see a list of what Facebook knows about you. My guess is most of the things are going to seem pretty pertinent to you. Not all. There'll be some that you'll scratch your head as to why you're being targeted for this, but probably something that you did online makes Facebook think that you're interested in that particular product, service, or interest. And finally, when it comes to mobile advertising, video is all the rage. People are inherently lazy, and they're always going to watch a video over reading something online. So with that in mind, what we're seeing more and more is short videos, even down to 6 seconds long or 15 seconds long. The 30-second video is really becoming a thing of the past. And here's a few videos that Purplegator did for one of its retail customers. Finally, lesson 7 here, mobile apps. Well, it's not the final, I'm sorry. Mobile apps, it's a walking billboard in the pocket of your customer 24 hours a day. And look at the innovative way that Abercrombie & Fitch has used its mobile app to reach its target market. It's really the proliferation of apps that is making us spend so much more time with our mobile phone. And apps really began as a game in 1994, but it was iTunes that really changed the app hemisphere in 2003. And today, some of the more popular apps like Angry Birds have been downloaded more than 3 billion times. There have been 44 billion app downloads, and there's over 3 million apps currently on the Apple Store. And the time we spend with our mobile phone is now over 90% of that time is spent with apps. Think about the way you got on Facebook just 5 or so years ago. You probably typed in the domain in your browser. Well, today, almost all of us has the Facebook app. And it, of course, is the gorilla in the room with 19% of the total time spent with mobile is spent with Facebook. Here's the most popular apps in the United States in 2016, and you can see it's dominated by Facebook and Google. The fact is, though, no matter how many apps you have on your phone, and you probably have in excess of 55, 60 apps on average on your phone, you're probably only spending time with a very few of them. And that's why it's so important that your app have stickiness to make your consumers come back and use it often. When it comes to apps, free is the way to go. Free apps dominate online, but there are other ways that you can make money other than just free and promoting your business. And that is premium apps which is Ellen DeGeneres' Heads Up is an example of that, where you can download an app and you can pay a small amount for it, but then every time you add a new game, because you'll get tired of playing the same game all the time, you have to up another 99 cents. There's freemium apps, which are free to download, but then they're going to cost you every time that you want to add something to the app. So they get you hooked on a free basis, and then, for instance, on Angry Birds, you have to watch an ad in between each level. If you want to eliminate those ads, you can do so by paying for the paid version of Angry Birds. And then finally, premium apps, which you have to pay for. They really need to have a pretty strong following. Many of them are business-to-business apps. People need to already realize that it's an important app, because they're not going to pay a lot of money for an app that they really don't know what it does in advance. So lesson 8 here is mobile commerce and how we can drive more business to your brand in the retail stores. And let's take a look at how Hellmann's has done just that. When it comes to retail marketing today, mobile plays a very big part in a multi-touch marketing strategy. The old marketing funnel doesn't make sense anymore, because there are so many different touch points between your brand or your business and the consumer before they actually come into your store. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the age of mobile and where we're headed in the future. And you can see there's a lot of things on the horizon. One of the things that I'm most excited about is virtual reality. I have a love for baseball, and you're going to see in this next video what Gatorade has done along with superstar Bryce Harper in virtual reality. Enjoy. what an exciting future mobile has. Uh, this is a really exciting business to be involved in, uh, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I'm Bob Bentz, and I'm the author of Relevance Raises Response. You can find it at Relevance Raises Response at Amazon and other fine online book retailers. I'm also the president of mobile digital agency Purplegator, and you can find us at purplegator.com. Thank you very much. Done. I don't know if I did it. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything at the end.
Can you stop it?
I don't know how to stop it.
Right click on quick time
Yeah.
and then stop recording.
Stop screen recording, right?
Yep.